We had a chance to talk about the house. We had a chance to listen to what my goals were, and they helped me to meet them. Then I had the offer, I believe, within 2 hours of them coming through and doing the walkthrough. Simple Quarters never tried to change their offer at any point during the process. Once they gave me that offer, it stood. The offer was absolutely fair. They did explain to me how they came to that price, and it was a fair offer. The best part about this process is I didn't have to make any repairs to the house. Simple Quarters has taken it as is, which is a huge stress relief. It just couldn't have worked out better. It really couldn't have.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
WTOC AM, W236CR Indianapolis, the home for Indy's favorite gospel music, ministries, community discussions, and more. We are Praise AM 1310, 95.1 FM, Indy's inspiration station.
The following is a paid program. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio 1, WTLC AM 1310, 95.1 FM, and its management.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Unity in the Community. I am your host, James Jackson, lead pastor of Fervent Prayer Church in Indianapolis. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. Not as cold as it has been. Not too bad. You know you're a Hoosier when it's 32 and it feels like 52 because your body has acclimated to 22. That's kind of how it works. And so got some cold weather, so let's keep going. Glad to have you here with us on this afternoon, AM 1310 and 95.1 FM, Indy's Inspiration Station. The number that you will need to be connected to the show on this afternoon is 317-480-1310. Again, that's 317-480-1310. Make a note of it, 317-480-1310, and certainly would love to have you be part of our show on today. Also, we're streaming on my Facebook page, James William Jackson, and on my YouTube channel, James William Jackson, and you can see who's saying what they are saying there. So, a lot going on in America. Lots going on in Indianapolis, but we're going to talk about some of the things. And I have a special guest. Going to be talking about how to take care of your skin. I am a big advocate for taking care of yourself. You are your best healthcare provider. And did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? A lot of people don't know that. Some of you all do because we've talked about it on the show before. And it's probably the least part of our bodies that we take the best care of. Your skin. Your skin comes into contact with all kinds of things in our environment. Everything you put on your body, lotion, soap, all of that is absorbed into your bloodstream through your skin. But I'm not the expert. We do have an expert here to talk about that. In just a few moments, Sierra Ward will be joining us. She is the owner-operator of the Barber Boutique on the northeast side of Indianapolis, just off Benford Boulevard. She'll give you all the information when we get to that. But first, I want to pray for you and talk just a little bit about the redistricting that we thought we were beyond that. And now we're back to that. We're back on that again. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But first, let's have a word of prayer. Father, we thank you for this time of fellowship. Thank you for all those who are in our listening audience. We thank you for affording us this wonderful opportunity to be able to connect over the airwaves. We thank you for our city, our mayor, our city council, all of our public safety partners, folks in education, arts and entertainment, media, family services, churches, We thank you for all of those who are doing anything to work for the peace of the city of Indianapolis. For your word says, when the city has peace, then we will all have peace. Let none of us ever think that because we have peace of mind or peace in our own space, that that's enough. Help us. Give us the spiritual, physical, and financial wherewithal to do it all so that everybody in our city can be blessed and enjoy a good life as you intended. In Jesus' name, amen. So, we were talking just last week about how that Indiana was not going to do any redrawing of maps. And the state legislature had decided that it's not something that it wanted to do. Indiana is so called a Republican state. They say that Indiana is a red state with a blue dot. If you're not in politics, that means that Indiana is mostly Republican, but Indianapolis, Marion County, is Democrat. But it was interesting that Republicans said no to the redistricting that President Trump wanted for our state. And due to some arm twisting and probably some other things, there were some Republicans who changed their mind. They took a vote. And now that's back on the table. As I understand it, has to go through the Senate and then be signed by the governor. It's going to have all kinds of ramifications for the state of Indiana and for our city. So in Indiana, the state legislature draws both congressional and state legislative district boundaries. Maps are enacted by statute and subject to the governor's veto. And if the legislature fails to enact congressional maps, a 5-member backup commission, legislative leaders plus a governor-appointed member takes over. So what's happening now in this 2025 mid-decade redistricting push? I have to really work my mouth to say that because it's such a tongue twister. But this doesn't usually happen mid-decade. So why is it happening now? You know, the Bible talks about, and this show is formatted to deal with community issues from a biblical perspective. The sons of Issachar knew the times that they were in, and they knew what to do. Another text says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. So understand we have a president, President Donald J. Trump, who used to be a Democrat. Then he tried to start an independent party, could not get any traction in the Democrat Party, could not get any traction as an independent, but he found a home in the Republican Party. And we have a president who gets what he wants in a very interesting way. And so Indiana didn't want this, but now it's back. So 2025 has seen a renewed controversial push to redraw our congressional maps, and not as part of a usual once a decade cycle. Of course, President Trump knows he's not going to be in office forever. So he's trying to get as much done as he possibly can. So that's what's going on. Supporters argue the map simply reflects shifting populations and is necessary for political performance. One sponsor reportedly admitted the maps were drawn purely for political performance. The proposed mid-decade redistricting has sparked protests at the State House, with hundreds rallying against what they call a power grab. And this is politics, y'all. So if the map passes and is signed into law, Indiana's congressional delegation could shift from its current 7 Republicans, 2 Democrats, to 9 Republicans and 0 Democrats. A Republican sweep, if you will, likely before the 2026 midterms. That shift could reduce the representation of urban and minority communities, those of you who are listening, we will be pretty much kicked out, particularly in Indianapolis, affecting local and national policy influence. And the way it's set up, it's supposed to give everybody a voice as to what's going on. So this is a good fight. And if it passes the Senate and gets to the governor's desk, then Indiana will have no Democrat representation, as I understand it. And there are smarter people than me listening. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. But there will be no Democrat representation in Washington, D.C., and I think that is wrong. I don't think that should happen because what's really at stake is trying to affect and impact and influence the midterms so that President Trump has even more power. And there's a thing called tyrannical leadership. And there's a documentary out on Netflix about how tyrants are made. And it's very interesting. And I watched that a few years ago, actually. And the leadership that I'm seeing in Washington, D.C. now reminds me of that tyrannical leadership. And when Indiana had decided that we didn't want that, Republicans, and Dr. Moore and I, we had talked about that. And we thought it was very, very good and very interesting that Indiana rejected that. But the president sent in his people. And they wield a lot of power. You see, there's a lot of what they call appropriations. This was something I was interested in many years ago when we were doing our youth jobs program and trying to get money to fund it. And I was interested in the flow of money. How does money come from Washington, D.C. to the state? And so they have a thing called appropriations, and they appropriate money for each state. So all the tax money that comes in from all over the country, in excess of 300 billion people live, 300 million people, in excess of 300 million people live in America. So there's much more than that because everybody don't get counted. And a lot of people of that number where people are working, they take taxes out of our paycheck. People don't pay taxes, they take taxes. You know, if we were allowed just to pay them, I know people that don't pay them. If you give people that, they say, well, just pay your taxes. You don't pay them, they take them. They don't trust us to pay them. Most people probably wouldn't anyway. But so they just take it out. That's why you have what they call your gross income. And then you have your net income. And it ought to be reversed because oftentimes what you have left is gross. Anyway, so they take all that money out and they have that in Washington, and then they appropriate money to the states, of course, state taxes and local taxes and all that. We have a lot of taxes. We're not the heaviest taxed people in the world, but we do have a lot of tax. You got excise tax to drive your car, property tax to live in your house, sales tax on food and beverage and clothes and all of that. And then you have your local income tax, county option income tax, school tax, state tax, federal income taxes. We pay a lot. You have a lot to come out of your money. So the federal government will appropriate money to the states. And we have heard President Trump threaten governors and threaten mayors to take away their money. And we've seen colleges where their money has been held up or their money has been taken away. We're seeing some things that are really just bad things. They're just terrible things. The kind of pressure, the kind of tactics that are being used to get people to do what leaders want them to do. And that's what we're seeing out of Washington, D.C. And that's what has happened in the state of Indiana. But Republicans said, no, we don't want that. We got 7 Republicans, 2 Democrats from the state of Indiana who go to Washington, D.C. and, talk about things that people need in our city and so on. And if this passes, it looks like it will. I think it's going to pass. Governor Braun is a favorite of Donald J. Trump. He likes Governor Braun. I'm doing my doctoral thesis on relational leadership. Everything's about relationship, y'all, whether you like it or not. Everything is about relationship. And Governor Braun has a great relationship with Donald J. Trump. And so if this gets through the Senate, and it probably will, it will be signed into law. And when that's done, Indiana, as I understand it, will have 9 Republicans representing our state. And that is not right. Moral leadership is on the line. Morally, this is wrong. When you have thousands and thousands of Democrats in the state of Indiana, thousands of Democrats, and to have no Democrat representation in Washington, D.C. from the state of Indiana is wrong. But when you have tyrannical leaders, these are the outcomes. When you have, you're talking about billions of dollars. See, when you're talking about money and they're threatening to hold back your money and shoot you in the budget, if you will. And then people start changing their minds because you don't know these conversations that go on in the back door. See, when you look up the word politics and things like that, you're going to get a definition of backroom deals and closed door deals and the arguments and the stuff that take place offline. And you don't see it in the media and the things that are said and the threats that are made to get people to change their mind. So how do Republicans change their mind so quickly? You said no, and it hasn't been that long. Paint haven't even dried on the wall yet. And then you flip enough Republicans to get it done. Now, all Republicans did not vote yes to this. So when you're out there saying all Republicans are evil and the devil and all of that, all Republicans, 100% of Republicans did not vote for this. But they got enough to flip and to say, well, this is what we're going to do. All right, going to Thomas. Thomas, welcome to the program. 317-480-1310. What do you think? 317-480-1310 before we start talking about skin. And we all have skin in the game, by the way. We do. Hey, Thomas, welcome to the program. Good. How are you?
Good. I just want to, in reference to what you said about what happened in Indianapolis about the redistricting, yes, as a whole, the House specifically, majority of the Republicans voted for the redistricting. So in reference to the Senate, there is no majority to take up this issue. So I just want to make sure that it's put out that the majority of the House Republicans voted to go through this redistricting, but there wasn't a majority in the Senate to take this issue on, but it's going to happen. Supposedly, they're going to take it up on this coming Monday. But I just want to make sure that's put out in reference to people saying something about the Republicans said no, but then again they changed it. But to make sure that
that's true. That's true.
Two different things.
That's true.
That's the only thing I'll put out. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling. Well, it's true that Republicans said no at first. That is 100% true. When this came at first, Republicans said no, they're not going to do it. And that was in the news media. To your point, the second time around, they got enough, and I say they got enough Republicans to flip, to change it. This was not an easy deal for Washington, D.C. to get Indiana to do it. Indiana didn't want to do it. Indiana said no at first. That's what I want to make sure that people understand, because now you have people going out and saying, oh, all Republicans decided to do it. And that's not true. There were some Republicans who, and you're right, Thomas, the majority of Republicans on the second round, the majority of Republicans said, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. under duress, in my opinion. Because how do you go from no to yes, and the paint still drying on the wall? Been around politics long enough, and I've been working in community long enough to know how that works. You either go along to get along, or you get in trouble. But then you leave out a lot of people. All right, going to Bob. Bob, welcome to the program.
Hello, Mr. Jackson. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Well, sir, I was actually in attendance yesterday at the Turning Point USA rally in the State House Capitol Rotunda. A little surprised you wasn't there because
why are you surprised? Why do you think I should be there?
well, I mean, there was a very upbeat, positive get together, and there was not what the media said. It was all antagonistic and power play and all that. And actually, there were several people who were there. But anyway, talking about the redistricting, that does not determine the outcome of the election. This determines the boundaries of the district that the respective Congress people will run. And then, I hear, everybody hears, but if you're low info and not really in tune with things, they say taxation without representation. Well, wait a minute here. Regardless if your candidate wins or loses, you still have representation at that particular office. Just like a lot of people don't like Donald Trump, but he's still our governor president, proactive there. And just like Andre Carson, he's my congressman.
Mhm.
I acknowledge him and respect him for that. So I don't know where they get this taxation without representation. We're always going to have a representation there. And it's not an illegal thing here because it's in the Constitution. And I'll wrap this up here. Another thing about the whole thing is we hear cheating. There's nothing cheating about this. The only time that cheating is involved in elections is the tabulation of votes on election day. That's why we hear recounts and this and court cases and voter ID. There's nothing, quote, cheating. And that goes back to low info people listening to people that are trying to power play. But
Right.
this does not determine the election results, redistricting. I'm not trying to be vindictive with you. I'm just trying to make some valid points.
And thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thanks for your call and comment. So under the new map, should it go through, and we anticipate that it will, the two congressional districts currently held by Democrats, the first district in Northwest Indiana, around Gary, the largest population of black folks in the state of Indiana is in Lake County and in Marion County. So this is strategic. When you, all you're getting, get understanding. And the seventh district, which is Congressman Carson, would be reshaped in ways likely to favor Republicans in future elections. So Congressman Carson and the Democrat in the first district in Northwest Indiana could still win. But the way these maps are being drawn, there will be more Republicans that can go to the polls. And if that's the case, then you would have 9 Republicans representing Indiana and the Republican Party in Washington, D.C. Policy influence. I hate to quote Nixon here, and then we're going to shift and bring our guest on. President Nixon and, of course, Dr. Martin Luther King both are quoted as having said, it's not a matter of whether it's right or wrong, but is it morally wrong? Moral leadership used to really matter in America. In this instance, is it morally right to do this midway through the decade? Why? There's always the why behind the what. Why would you do it? Why do you have to do it midway through? And to just before the midterms. Why would you do it then? That's the question. unless there was a more insidious reason as to the reason that they did it. Anyway, I'm going to bring our guest on to talk about skin, how you can take care of your skin, and let's keep praying for the state of Indiana and for our nation. 317-480-1310, 317-480-1310. We'll be back after these messages. Family, it's the weekend, and it's a great time to realign your thoughts and intentions and give order to those things that need your attention. Be sure to join me each evening for the hottest inspirational broadcast in the nation. It's the Nightly Spirit. I'll see you then. Darling, because the Nightly Spirit. On Praise AM 1310, 95.1 FM, Indy's Inspiration Station. This holiday season, Jimenez Mr. Discount is turning up the savings and helping you make your home the place to be. Fill your home with holiday cheer, beautiful Christmas trees, sparkling decor, and memories that last. Looking for comfort? From cozy sectionals to supportive mattresses, we've got furniture for every room and every family gathering. Ready to tackle a project? Find quality tools, appliances, flooring, and more. All at prices that help you save. Why pay more at the big name stores? At Jimenez Mr. Discount, you get trusted brands and real value for less. Plus, great deals on Christmas decor, washers, dryers, refrigerators, hand tools, and even mattresses. Show your loved ones you care by sharing the gift of savings with a Jimenez Mr. Discount gift card. Visit one of our 3 Indy locations and start saving today. 6425 English Avenue, 5110 West Pike Plaza Road, inside the shopping center. 748 South Harrison Street in Shelbyville. Call us at 812-603-2902. From our family to yours, thanks for shopping local and happy holidays, Indy. Joseph, I can't go any further. You must, Mary, you must. The Genesis Theater Company proudly presents Christmas at the Jewel. Get your tickets today for Christmas at the Jewel. Experience this wonderful dinner theater show. You can reach us at 317-778-6707 or go to GenesisTheaterCo.com. Don't miss Christmas at the Jewel. GenesisTheaterCo.com. Get your tickets today.
Here at Urban One, we pride ourselves on supporting local and national Black-owned businesses throughout all of our radio markets. Since we began our Buy Black campaign, we like to spotlight some familiar and unfamiliar businesses in our communities. From arts and crafts, restaurants, clothing and apparel, heating, technology, electrical. One thing is true, Black folks have a business for everything you need, want, or could imagine. So let's show some love to all local and national Black-owned businesses, because when you spend money with a Black-owned business, you are helping your community as well as helping yourself. The businesses for this week are...
Ready to say I do? Diamond Wedding Chapel in Indianapolis offers a fully decorated, stress-free venue at affordable prices. Learn more at diamondweddingchapel-indy.com. Elevate your beauty and confidence with Indy Skin and Lashes. From luxury service to coaching and speaking. Call 463-209-2280 to book your experience. Wonderful Bar and Grill is Indy's hidden gem for live music, amazing food, and unbeatable vibes. Stop by 6880 Pendleton Pike or visit wonderfulbarandgrill.com. All right, welcome back, and we want to welcome to the show Sierra Monique of the Barber Boutique. She is the owner and operator of this wonderful, wonderful service here in the city of Indianapolis, just mid-east, I think you could say, of Indianapolis. She's a barber and barber educator. Right there at 5501 East 71st Street, Suite 1B. And has been doing it for quite some time, has several professional services
for those of you who might be in need of her services. She's going to talk about the menu of services that she has, and we'll talk about skin. So, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me. Hey, everybody.
And thank you. You used to fill in as a host when we were on St. Joseph Street.
Yes.
You, along with many others that when I couldn't make it, would come along and do that. So, thank you.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to doing it again.
Yeah.
It was fun times.
So, talk about your services there at the Barber Boutique.
Yeah, so again, I am Sierra Monique, located at the Barber Boutique. The address is 5501 East 71st Street, Track 1, Suite 1B. I have been a barber for 25 years. I started in high school. Since we're talking about skin, I have been living in the skin that I am in for 38 years. So I've been a barber just about as half of my life, like as long as I've been alive. But
What precipitated you getting involved in that?
you know, it was always playing in hair as a kid. My mom introduced me to that. Shout out to Miss Vanessa. Love her. Give her some love. She brought me up to Kenny's Academy of Barbering, said, hey, you need a trade. You can go to college if you want to, but you need a trade. So you can do hair or you can cut hair. So I chose cut hair because I didn't want to spend 3 hours on one head. But that was like narrow thinking. And so, if I could suggest anybody who is interested in the beauty culture industry is to get all that you can get, if that's in hair, skin, nails, barbering, cosmetology, esthetician, all of that. Knowledge is power, education is elevation. So I would suggest being licensed in all of those.
And at some of the uh, what is like something cuts, I don't immediately remember, but you go in and you see a lot of white women who are barbers. Is it rare to see black women as barbers?
No, absolutely not. I speak to a lot of my older clients, and a lot of them had black female barbers when they were younger. Black women have always done hair since we got here. Hair is our thing. It's our culture. It's our rite of passage. So yeah, no, it's not uncommon at all to have a black female barber.
All right.
It's just the representation that has been shown, right? Historically, the barbershop was a place of politics. That's where you would get your information from. That's where the politics would show up to the barbershop. That was the hub of information that was passed through. And while you were on the topic of taxes, I was just thinking about like how skin and taxes kind of correlate together, because you can skip paying taxes for a long time. You can neglect your taxes, but it's gonna circle back around and it's gonna get you. Same way with your skin. While it's cold outside, you can neglect it. That one day that you hop out that steaming hot shower and you run outside with your pores open and that cold air comes and smack you in the face. Yeah, your lips are gonna peel, it's gonna hurt, and then you're gonna have to pay for it.
So, as a barber, and of course, when we think about a barber, we think about just a haircut, but you provide a lot more than that. So, talk to us about some of the things that you do over there.
I provide everything from the shoulders up. I provide light fades, ball fades, afro shape ups, designs. I provide facials with diamond tip exfoliators. I love using a straight razor. I love doing straight razor shades for beards. I do lock retwist and lock maintenance. I wouldn't define myself as a loctician. I would define myself as a barber who can maintenance locks, only because I've had my own. The hair replacement systems, I am trained in that as well. When you're in barbering school, you learn how to do everything. You learn about the nail disease. You learn how to do perms with the rods. You were trained in all these things so that you can go out and be the most complete barber that you can be. However, you just pick a niche that you specializing in, and my I love to do. My specialty is doing shaves and, low haircuts as well. So I like using the hot towels, the facial steamer machines. I love including essential oils like lavender. I don't know if people know that lavender is also it's good for ingrown hairs, and using the shea butter to moisturize the skin to help the shave be more comfortable.
317-480-1310, 317-480-1310 if you have questions for Sierra. And thank you for taking care of me over the last few years.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've been coming to you for how long? About 5 years now? 6?
Maybe a little longer than that. No one's counting. We're just enjoying the time. It goes by fast.
Yeah, and so it's been really wonderful. You provide a lot of wonderful services. When we start talking about things like alopecia and we start talking about skin diseases, you've probably seen quite a bit.
Indeed, yes.
And you do children as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get into some of the skin diseases and the things that people can do, how can people get a hold of you? And if they want to make an appointment, how can they do that?
You can find me at the Barber Boutique located at 5501 East 71st Street. I do not accept walk-ins. There's a big sign on the door that says no walk-ins. So if you would like to contact me, the number is 317-480-0699. Not to be confused with 317-480-1310.
Close.
Close, very close. I love that.
So give it again.
317-480-0699. If you have any questions about your skin or if you'd like to schedule an appointment, you can contact me at that number. I have a question for you.
Mhm.
When did you first notice your skin changing, and what was that like? What was that like for you?
Well, actually, my skin is still in really good condition.
Indeed, it is. I take care of it very well.
And then there are other things, I do a lot of exercising and things like that. But I would say noticeable changes probably right when I hit 50.
Mm-hmm.
And, I could see different things
Yes.
taking place. And so I take care of my skin, which is one of the reasons why I come to you. But then the things I do in my routines in the evenings. But I would say at 50
At 50.
is when I started noticing changes.
Now, I would categorize you in the Silver Fox era
Mhm.
because you got this beard
Yeah.
that you did for No Shave November, and I'm so surprised that you still have it. You're still rocking the beard. I love it.
Thank you.
When did you start noticing that your beard was starting to go silver?
It was probably in the 40s,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really do a lot of facial hair up until probably somewhere, probably early 40s, because I was trained in ministry. One of the things if you had a mustache, that was about all.
Mm-hmm.
And then my father and I never saw my dad. Well, I saw my dad with what do you call it, 5 o'clock shadow? We used to
Uh-huh.
call it, a
Yeah.
little stubble. One time,
Mm-hmm.
and that was when he was in the hospital.
One time.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he was from the old school,
Mm-hmm.
and he and my uncle, which I admire both of them very much, they were clean shaven every day. But men from that era, when they were coming along, that was what you did.
Yeah.
And then Bishop T. Garrett Benjamin, he would ask, why is your face dirty?
What they say, you got something on your face, let me get that off.
Which is hair and things like that. So, and then of course in America, a clean shave was considered the gentleman thing to do.
Indeed it was.
And in politics, not now, because Vice President Vance has a full beard,
Sure does.
but that was not acceptable many years ago. Although if you go way back to Abraham Lincoln and all those folks, they had beards. It was just the time.
True.
But in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, through there, to have hair on your face as a politician was not acceptable.
This is right. Yeah. Even in the food industry now, like you see people with beards cooking your food, and that would have never been allowed.
No.
Yeah.
And of course, I think the beard is supposed to be covered
It should be.
if you're in preparation of food, which is one of the reasons why I don't like going through drive-throughs and eating where I can't see people preparing the food.
You want to see who's cooking your food.
Yeah, because even when when I go and I get my beard trimmed and everything, I notice on my shirt, there's things there from hair loss that come down.
Yes.
And so I think that's the same if people are preparing food. If they don't have something on, hairs could fall in your food
Oh yeah, because we're losing hair.
all the time.
Just leaving our DNA traces everywhere we go.
Yeah. So for alopecia people,
Yeah,
have you seen that during your time?
I have. And
I shouldn't say alopecia people. I should say people who have alopecia.
right. Yeah, people struggle with it. Alopecia is, it's hair loss. It's a very sensitive subject for people who struggle with alopecia. And shout out to the brave souls who, that decide that they're not defined by their hair, and they decide to, cut their hair off and release themselves from that burden. So alopecia, I found that um, I have a I have someone who struggles with that, and we do our best to camouflage those spots, right? So when it comes to like some certain alopecias, it's where you would have that hair follicle that won't grow hair anymore. And it could be localized alopecia, small spots or larger spots. Yes, alopecia is it's a tough subject, and you can do things like to enhance your haircut by using hair fibers, which are natural keratin that you can fill in those spots. They come in all different colors. They come in black, brown, blonde. You can do things like that. You can also do the hair replacements. If it's depending on where the alopecia is located, where the hair loss is located, you can just get a low ball fade. So there's options to explore.
3-1.
Oh yeah, and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the people that go over to Turkey to get the actual the hair bulbs placed in their scalp. They are removing hair from other parts of their scalp and placing it where the hair is lost at. And I know a guy, I met him in the gym, and he spoke on how much money it costs to do that. And he said,
How did it look?
so he was fine with it for a while, but then he started losing hair in the other places, but where he didn't get the hair replacement. And so now he has like the hair that he had relocated, and now the hair that he did have is also gone. So he just rocks the bald head.
Because when you take it from other places, aren't you taking those hair follicles?
Well, you're taking you're taking those follicles, but it's gonna grow back. However, when you're going through hair loss, it just started to eventually recede. Yeah.
So all that money for nothing then.
Period. All of that. Lot of money. Yeah. And it was like, I don't know, like 1,500 hair follicles. Like, I don't know if like that's just so many little follicles to be relocated to the front of the hairline, and it still wasn't enough. That was astonishing.
And do you have women that come in for services too?
Yes, yes, men, women, children, uh, and they're getting their hair cut. Sometimes stress can cause hair loss. Not using the right shampoo can cause hair loss. There was actually a study shown with the Mielle product that people were losing their hair with that. So yeah.
All right, I'm going to talk more about skin and hair when we come back. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more with Sierra after this.
Are you looking for a source of inspiration and uplifting content? Log on to praiseindy.com for your all things positive and empowering in and around Indy. Whether you're on the go or relaxing at home, Praise Indy brings you the latest in gospel music, community news, and inspirational stories that touch the heart. And don't miss our Listen Live feature, now available on all mobile devices. Stream the best in gospel music and enlightening talk shows that keep you connected to the pulse of our community anytime, anywhere. Feel the spirit, share the joy, and be a part of something truly special. Visit us online today at praiseindy.com. That's praiseindy.com, where faith and community come alive.
Nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If your appliances can't handle the holiday hosting heat, December deal drops at Lowe's makes upgrading easy. Get up to 35% off select major appliances, and rewards members save an additional $40 on the Whirlpool electric range and the over-the-range microwave. Plus, get up to 60% off select ladders, so you can deck all the halls. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/10. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Unity in the Community. Sierra Ward is our guest, Sierra Monique of the Bar Boutique. And if you would like to avail yourself to her services, how can they do that?
You can find me at 317-480-0699. Also, if you call, please leave a voice message. Texting is great so that I can see you. I can visually see who is texting me. Leave a message. Let me know who I'm calling. Otherwise, I won't get back to you because of potential spam. Even 317 numbers are showing up as spam now.
That's true.
I cannot deal, like I'm tired of screening my calls. So 317-480-0699. Text me or leave a message. That would be great.
All right. And going to skin in the time that we have left, and I stated that skin is the largest organ
It is.
that we have.
Not even the organ in the church. Our skin.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your advice to people during this time of year for taking care of their skin?
Moisturize. Moisturize, 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 moisturize.
And your recommendation?
When you get out the shower while the skin is still damp. So, you don't want to take like a too hot shower because it's going to get chapped. But when you get out the shower, you should be moisturizing with a thicker cream, not a lotion. You moisturize when you get out the shower because your pores are still open and it's going to trap that moisture in. So, Vaseline still works, shea butter, cocoa butter, all of these things are still good.
Your favorite?
My favorite? I love whipped shea butter. Shout out to Danny at the Shea Butter Bar off of 52nd and Keystone. She has a great experience there where you can make your own shea butter.
Really?
Yes, I love it. It's really fun. I like the shea butter. I love spray Aquaphor. I'm using Aquaphor as soon as I get out the shower at the gym because I gotta go. It's efficient. Also, there's a with the I think it's called AM lactate that you can use that has the It has a product in it that is good for, they call it chicken skin. It's like prickly
Chicken skin.
chicken skin. It's like really bumpy skin, and it's just caused from like dry skin. So that's also another product to use. Strawberry skin, that AM lactate is a good product for that. But yes.
What about eczema and psoriasis sufferers?
Eczema and psoriasis sufferers should go see a dermatologist. I am not trained to give medical advice for, people that have psoriasis and eczema. It's not my specialty.
Any relief for people who are dealing with it?
You know what? That's a good question for the callers. If there's anyone out there that is dealing with eczema or psoriasis, if you have any home remedies out there that would be helpful to the listeners, give us a call, 317-480-1310. Let us hear your home remedies. I think my mom used to brown flour and put it on diaper rashes for the babies
I
and
remember
flour.
that.
Yeah, they used to brown. Yeah, they used to brown flour to help with those skin issues.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So when we start talking about some of the, and as you've indicated, you're not a dermatologist, but some of the things that you have seen in taking care of heads and faces, what is the most common thing you see where you could say to people, if you did this different, you would have better results with your skin and your facial appearance?
If you ate different, if you drank more water, if you changed your diet, because it all starts from within. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking the other day. Of course, I was already aware that water hydrates our bodies. Most of us walk around dehydrated,
Mm-hmm.
but when you drink water, it's in your cells within 10 minutes of drinking it.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, as long as you don't have protein and carbohydrates in it.
Yes. Pastor Jackson, this is this AM. What is that?
Amlactin,
Yes.
Bumps Be Gone, therapeutic body cream for keratosis,
Mm-hmm.
Polaris, no scrub, exfoliator, and
Yes.
moisturizer.
Yes. Let's remember to exfoliate.
Exfoliate.
Yes. So
Let's go-
that
let's-
I love that lotion
We
for
got a
that.
caller, Pat. Pat, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Pastor. My question is, I went to when Walmart was open, their place to get your hair done, and they gave me a lacerated scalp. And I want to ask her, what's your name, baby? I forgot. What was your name?
Sierra.
Sierra. And they admitted that they did it, okay, and they were supposed to fix it, but they never fixed it. So I have right in the middle of my scalp, I guess the follicles or something is gone. Is there a way for me to get that back?
She said she had a lacerated scalp.
They call it a lacerated scalp. They put dye on me and left it and a pearl on me at the same time.
Oh my. Well, I'm first of all, I'm sorry to hear that. I know that is that's very traumatizing to do that. So, with you having that scar, um, I would that would take some research. That would take some research to do. You know, there's damage there. I think that maybe like I would definitely suggest to see a dermatologist for hair growth. Absolutely. However, in the barbershop, there is a thing called the microdermal roller that people use on their skin. It's a little roller and it has tiny needles in it to stimulate hair growth in the scalp. Also, the only proven thing that I have found and learned is that minoxidil is what regrows hair.
Can you spell? You know how to spell?
Minoxidil, let's find out. Yeah, I can find it out for you. It's in products, MOLI. Let's see. It's in products like what is that called? Just for men. So you can find minoxidil, that's spelled MONOXIDIL. So there's products like hers, Hims that has minoxidil in it. I just looked it up on Amazon. So they have a 5%.
I need to get a product that has that in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So favorite product. Okay.
It
All right.
is. It actually is. I just looked it up on Amazon. So it's 5% minoxidil with biotin for men and women. You can find that on Amazon for $20.
Okay.
Yep. So I would try
Okay.
that. I would try stimulating scalp growth.
Did you sue him?
When I got ready to sue them, I found out that so many people were sitting in line, and that's when they closed down. It's been a minute.
You said it was Walmart?
Shut down. It was at Walmart. They used to have a beauty salon in there. They don't have it anymore.
That's probably why.
So it wasn't actually. So it was a beauty shop, but not actually Walmart, or was it Walmart's beauty shop?
Well, it was. I guess it was Walmart rented out to them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Walmart's beauty shop but he just said when I talked to the lawyer, he said that they got so many people sitting in their line that they shut down. They just shut the whole. They just shut the whole beauty shop down everywhere. I mean, every last one of the Walmart.
Yeah. All right.
But they messed up my hair, and I'm so upset about that. I mean, It's like I have a bald spot in the middle of my head.
You might talk to Attorney Lee. He comes on before this show. He's a super lawyer. I've used him. Attorney Nathaniel Lee.
Okay.
He's an accident injury attorney. He's connected to a lot of great people. And I would talk to him because you certainly were injured. And he's one of the best in the nation. And consultation.
They told me what it was, and they said that they would try to fix it, and they gave me a lot of products, but I was just scared to use their products anymore.
Well, I would say talk to Attorney Lee, and it'll be well worth it. And if you won the case,
it's great advice.
It would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, you could really see some of the best dermatologists in the world and get going there and get that, because that's a woman's hair is her glory. That's what the Bible said.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, it's on the top part of my head and all places. It's like that's the only part that affected.
Yeah.
But
sue them.
They messed up. She said they left the perm. They put the perm
too long. Yeah.
They left it in too long with a coloring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not right.
My hair at the same time.
They should have known that. That's not right at all.
Yeah, we're out.
Left me and went shopping inside the.
Oh my goodness.
Neglect.
All right, Pat, we're out of time here, but talk to Attorney Nathaniel Lee, and they'll get you taken care of. You're welcome.
Thank you for calling.
God bless you, and happy holidays.
Thank you. Sierra, thank you for being here. As always, we appreciate you.
It was the best.
And of course, Shay has done an excellent job of keeping us going today. Thank you, Shay.
Shay.
For all of those of you who are watching and listening, from all of us here at Praise Indy, we like you, we love you, you make us smile. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Oh. Thank you. That's fun.